All right, guys, I'm back again. I've been up to quite a bit in the past 24 hours. I'm excited to be back to do what I love to do the most. I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life till the day that I can't. Um, I hope you guys are doing okay today. I am doing awesomely awesome. And without further ado, let's try to check if this stream is on and live and direct and proceed with the work at hand today. Okay, today? Okay, we're live. So, yesterday I meant to do some stuff off stream, but I just got preoccupied and, you know, life happened again and I decided to take a little break. Like I told you guys, I've been quite ill and, I'm still doing the recovery game and all that, but I'm excited to be well enough to be able to code at least. We're working on what we've been working on for a minute now. I've been working on this project for at least a year. Is an ORM, and just saying it's an ORM is like a simplification or an oversimplification because it does more than a typical what a typical ORM does. Like it doubles as also a query builder, a compile time, query checker, and a lot more, a migration tooling and stuff. So it's I would say it's a holistic tool, and I'm excited to be sharing this time, this opportunity, this moment, and everything with you guys. Thanks for joining in and thanks for supporting me in every way that you can. I love you all. Anyway, so today what I meant to do, what I was meant to do yesterday was I believe we were writing a test yesterday. Let's see, where was that test exactly? Probably here. Okay, that was good enough. We were done with the implementation, but we ran into an issue, in my opinion, something that we ought to fix, and that is that has to do with binding one of those statements. So let's check this first. This look okay. Let's check query turbo. Okay, yeah. So it's quite complex stuff we've got here. We're not even using this, so better to take it away. An example I was trying to demonstrate here was when I implemented the ability to use, rather than use an expression here directly, you could have, let's say you have a variable within this. You could basically do something like this, and it's still gonna work. And even if you take this outside of the macro, let's say somewhere here, it should still work. The way it was implemented, it should still work, right? Which is cool. As you can see right now, it's a vector of string, but if we move it back within this, you'll see that it's actually less statements. So there are some interesting work I've done prior that make all these things possible, and I'm really excited to have done that. So let's say this numbers, do numbers, let's mix and match. We've got a bunch of for loop there. It'd be nice to, you can even have like let's say you have a closure here, you can even invoke it. That is also gonna work. Let's say we've got another for loop for name, for color, in colors. There's just something like that. I'm also considering making the semicolon in if and for loop optional. So we could even have colors outside of this, and rather than having it as a closure, let's do this time. And there, yep. Something else. Testing. Tested. We can do a bunch of interesting. This is a very complex statement we're writing, and it feels as though we're writing like normal Rust code. This is not normal Rust code. Like, we're just making it look a little bit easier. So let's look at transaction. I believe it's I hope we find it though. I lost track of where we were having that issue. Was it if else? Yeah, it was. I believe so. So maybe we could close every other stuff first and make create double test case even complex. Let's do something like that. Let's write it. And something we could do is okay, let's open that and let's to go let's run that. Let's see what this gives us. Yeah, as you can see, that's a problem. We probably want to reference just, let's say, if else. Okay. So one thing, like, if this is actually properly handled, it should, when we're saying fine-tune param, which I think on line 70 should be, well, say to raw, this part where we have what we're doing, so we say else if name equals to a lower return, that statement should actually give us the raw statement if it's properly been implemented, right? So if I go to this line, because we want the raw version of this out, this should give us return select all from weapon ordered by or order by strength in descending order. So what if we cancel that and let's try to expand this so we can make sense and debug a little bit. Let's expand. So let's try to, I don't know, I'm kind of used to XX. So we got something like this, and we're trying to debug. So basically let's put, no, let's do that. So first we declare our variable, which is 7. Why is the recording so stretched? I Kato. Did I pronounce that right? I'm not sure what you mean by stretched. Do you mean the length, the duration, or like the visual? And thanks for joining in. Let me know what you mean, and I'll try to fix that ASAP. So we we are declaring a variable 7, assigning that to 5. You see, this is not actual like raw code in the true sense. And then we do the same thing for the name, and we create a statement, assign it to that variable. And what else? So we start the statement, and that statement is if. Then we have the condition. Let's bring it down here. We say if value is greater than 5, then we have this query block. Let's analyze that query block. So within that query block, we try to return, if it's greater than 5, return spaceship. So how are we handling that? Basically, we create this return statement. Okay, return this, and we get that back, return statement back, and we chain it here and return the chain instead. The reason we're doing that is we could have multiple like statements. That's how you say it. Yeah, that's how you say it. Love the actual video recording, like it's in 4:3 aspect ratio, stretched to 16. Not sure why that is. Maybe just MacBook resolution. That is possible. I'm not the most expert on video streaming, so I definitely have a lot of stuff to fix. I haven't paid much time and attention to improving the stream because I've been mostly focused on implementation work, right? I've been working on this project for a year. I only started streaming like probably less than 2 months ago because I just wanted to share what I've been working on rather than working in stealth mode. But I need to look into that. I will definitely look into that. I think at first I was recording at the natural 16:9, but I'm using this MacBook Pro M1 Max, and because of the screen resolution, it doesn't. I'm trying to like stretch it to fill the screen, so I need to look for a way to improve that. Thanks for like calling my attention to that again. I haven't revisited that since I had the issue. Please, if you have a suggestion, if you know a way to fix that, that would be really great. I had to do the stretching so this we don't have the empty black you get what I mean, strips above and below the video, and that was why I had to do that. And I think it has to do with with my MacBook resolution, screen resolution, like you mentioned. So if you know a way, that would be amazing. Perfecto. That would be amazing. So there we're returning, select spaceship, and otherwise. Anyway, and by the way, how are you doing? How's life? Where are you chatting from? Then next we check if the name is lower, then we have a code block. The reason we're using the code block is because we could have like multiple statements. Right here we're having a single statement, but you can imagine that, let's say you say, oh, x equals to 205, y equals to you get what I mean? Then you say, oh, j equals to select blah blah blah. You can have like more complex stuff, and in that case you can't have a single expression within that block. So that's why we're chaining that. So right there we're saying if this is this, we take the return statement saying return select blah blah blah, and that gives us back a return statement, I believe, and then we chain that again. So I actually see no reason why that shouldn't work, because so we pass a return blah blah blah, and it binds that right away. So we just need to check and figure out why return function isn't properly binding a select statement. So what if we go into it? So we say into value like, so how does it convert a select statement into value like? We need to figure that out. Let's go into value like and let's look at all the conversion. Just look at select statement. Yeah, so I'm saying select statement to value like, and basically statement to value like, that's anything that can be converted to subquery. We do that, we build it, take the string, get the bindings, and we get the subqueries. Okay, so if we're building it, we're getting the bindings and stuff, what could be missing, and subquery refers to okay, I think I did some of them here. Statements and subqueries, build it, then we create binding. Yep. Let's try to print this. Let's see. A little bit of debugging. Hey, I'm doing good. I actually enjoy watching your videos like yours, as it's nice to see an actual program and top programming. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's my thought also. Because when you edit that out, you don't really see the proper process, the humane process that goes into it. The mistakes, the banging your head against the wall, and all those things. I think they're pretty important. So most people have like unrealistic expectation of what real life programming should look like or what it should be like, and that can be sometimes unhealthy. Let's pretty print this, not just edit the ones. And I tried to look up a solution. It seems that resizing the input and output display aspect ratio should fix it instead of scaling. Oh, that makes sense. I'm going to screenshot that, and I'll screenshot your message. Thank you for doing the research, Kato. I'll try to I'll test that after the stream. Thanks. That's really important to me. That means a lot. So what got you interested in Rust? I'm trying to print this so we can see what the subquery is like here properly. Okay, we've got something interesting. So it's actually interesting. Let's go back to the statement here. We're doing this twice, so that might be why. Yeah, we have like the statement select all space shape. I believe that's coming from this line. Select all space shape ordered by name, descending order. That's coming from there. Now let's look at the next one. We want to see select from weapons. So that's this. Select from weapons, where strength, descending order. Yep. Basically this, the raw string representation of that. What's the next one? We'll go on. Select or from. Okay. The reason why we're getting this twice is we are also rendering the expanded version, macro version, so it's repeating itself. So basically this is the part that we are concerned about, that we're expecting to provide the raw outputs. And if you look at this, so we got 87d4, 87d4. Okay, that looks, the binding looks good. We have the query param binding, and we also have the raw string. So that does look good to me. If we go back to subquery, yeah, for example, let's you know what, we'll just do build, then give us also bindings and give us errors. Let's do them one by one so we can see properly. So what got you interested in Rust, Kato? How long have you been working with Rust? Have you been working with Rust? What other stuff are you interested in? And how did you find my channel also? Give me 1 second. Yep, I'm back and live. So let's see what we've got here. We do what you're gonna know. This actually looks good to me because and I think I can see where the problem is coming from. So what you're gonna notice is the param actually corresponds with what we have here. So in theory this should be good, but yep, that should be good. And when we try to do like fine tune parameter, so that looks good to me in theory. On if we do to raw, it gives us that, then there is a problem. How about we do print eprint, let's say, let's take that first, but actually what we're looking to do is queries, not the raw, just the normal one. It's build, queries build. Let's see what we've got there, and let's see. See what we've got. Yeah. Yes, go up a little bit. 1 second again. You know something fine. I'm back again. So yeah, we've got that, and let's compare with what we got here. We're able to render Probably to normal. Do if greater than 5. That works. Return. That works. Is a that works. Return. And also that works. When we say return dirts, we do let's check the bindings actually. That's the next thing we need to check to be sure. First, let's check that. Happens at select weapon or weapon, right? So we don't even have that here. Am I mistaken? So here we've got the 7. That's the val 7. Then we've got the name wheeler. Then we've got the select statement, select spaceship statement. Then we've got 7 again. And 5. That's weird. Then we've got name. Okay, yeah. That's coming from if this equal to this. And hold on. This is a little bit weird. Why are we've just got 2 places to bind name, why are we doing that multiple times? I need to figure that out, and I think I might have an idea. What does the 55? Okay, yeah, what we're returning finally to 505. So we're not binding that at all. This is not being bound. That's interesting. So how can we figure that out? Let's check this. Let's say else if. We have this return statement which we chain. I'll return that also. Let's check this else if. That's a good candidate to look at. Else if. take condition. How about the body? Why is the body empty in else if? Okay, we're not getting the body from this. So probably should refactor this a little bit. Flow data, else if data. We pass that in. And then we pass in the flow, the existing. So when we go to else statement, where we should have then taken the body. So we're saying we get the last else if data is mutable and passing the body. It'll be interesting to see what this is at this point. Pretty printed. Yeah, this looks okay. The problem is probably from here. We can temporarily comment that out. Yep. So let's see what we got. Where's this binding? What was I trying to print though? take this two off now. And else if statement. I doubt that body is even being evaluated, but we'll get to know now. Let's go Zen mode fully. Okay. I'm trying to debug why one of those bindings isn't working properly. I did a little bit of refactor with the if else statement because now it's handling more complex scenario. And okay, so as you can see, for the conditionals here, we're saying this with the bindings of that, and that is the name for the condition. And the body, for the body, we have like the query which returns for 9 D9, right? And the binding takes this and the select statement, selecting the weapon. Actually that looks good. The body looks good to me. That's what we would expect for the body. The query and the binding. So where are we going wrong? I think okay, I think I know what the problem is, and I should rethink if that's actually a good thing. Because yeah, that should so let's get the binding first before that. Yeah, that's one thing we need to do. Anyway, I think this should fix the problem, and I actually need to see that we're not making the same error elsewhere. If yeah, we fixed it. We fixed it, guys. We fixed it. Ha 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 ha. We magically fixed it. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. So now you see it's actually giving us the raw deal. So first, let's actually see that we're not making the same mistake elsewhere. Okay, we're binding that body here for health. And how about for the initialization? We're doing okay, we do that here also. And then expression is else if. How about if itself have if else if. Okay, we're doing that for if we get the condition binding and the body binding. Okay, it looks good to me. So pretty much this is fixed. So let's rerun the test. And actually, now what we should do is let's update the snapshot. Yep. Now let's rerun it. While we're doing that, let's just fix else if body block bindings parameter binding. I'm excited. We fixed one of those bugs that slipped in while I was doing like regression stuff, while I was doing some refactoring in the previous one of those previous streams. So let's see what we're getting here. Yep, looking good to me. So we can say cargo install. Do the rest. Why don't we just make this do that. So for that what line is it? 99. Okay, yeah. I'm actually thinking this is not worth it because we have the screenshot test, right? Yeah, but if it's really cumbersome to have to do this. It is cumbersome, and I'm avoiding having to do it manually. And since we have the screenshot, we might as well just skip the whole thing. You feel me? Yeah, feel me. 1 second, I'll be back. He's a great I put to cease. He's like the wine. I'm back. Yep. Anyway, so we just have to decide on that, and I gravitating towards the part of it ain't worth it. But let's see. Your love is a snare, and I am the spinner. That yeah, you're bad. Your love is a great I put a seas. So we've got that. If that is greater than okay, so we got our whole thing. We shouldn't have the open and close bracket anymore. I need to sheet out. So say let this equal this. Val greater than 5. Okay, so it's expecting this other stuff now. I'm just thinking about the shortcut so I don't have to maybe first I'll try to print it, because no, it's not worth it for me. It's not worth it. But I'm tempted to leave it, you know. But at the same time, it ain't worth it. We're just gonna use screenshot tests, because I mean we could do, let's try to print it first and just copy the printed output. Let's see if that's gonna work. If it doesn't work, I'll just leave it as is. It ain't worth it. But I'm pretty excited with what we've got. So we have these which we can copy. So the problem is then you need to deal with all this little formatting. Then you have to say to yourself, is this really worth my time, or just screenshot? Just yep. So what have we got? Did that work? Nay. Let's rerun that. Yeah, this is the problem with doing this. Like you have all this little formatting that you have to take care of. So for example, if you go to this line, now it's complaining that you need to, and if I change something, you have to do all that. Ugh, you probably have to remove all that. And yeah, you need to remove that space. The same goes with else. Let's see if it passes that way. Um, yeah, you see, there's a lot of formatting stuff you have to deal with, and it ain't worth it to me. Um, I guess we could do something like this. How did we handle this? Yep, it ain't worth it. I'm just gonna screenshot it and call it a day, which I already did. Because like even if you change something little, let's say I change this to, and let's rerun this. My water is finished. Yep, we good. I think we good. I'm just gonna leave it as is and let's update orders. Invalid, rendered error, missing closing delimiter. Select all from this. Queries one. I see. Let's make it such that this can also take, or maybe just improve what a block means. Because if you're returning, then you probably mean a block. You're using it within a constraint of something. So I think we might want to improve the heuristic of a block. Anytime you encounter a return statement, we could probably just call that a block, because if you're going to be returning something, then it has to be within, you're going to be returning something in the context of a multi-query chaining context, then it has to be within the context of a block. So for example, if you are having like a create statement or like an update statement, and you're trying to assign a block to a field, and the block should return a value which is assigned. So even if you have like complex multiple queries at some point you return something conditionally or just on the last statement in the block, right? And in that case, it has to be surrounded by parentheses. So something I've been contemplating on is whether or not the parentheses should be determined at the implementation location or at the utilization location. So for example, if you're having like create or update statement with a block assigned to a field, should we impose the double like surrounding what was this, is it surrounding bracket, not bracket, surrounding curly braces, or should we do that at the implementation phase? So we just say, okay, should a block mean just anytime we encounter a return keyword within multi-statement, or should it also mean that it should be surrounded by curly braces? In which case, if we're doing that, then at the utilization phase, let's say at assignment to a field in the create or update statement, or even as we're trying to use it now in the select statement, should we impose the curly braces there, or wherever we implement the block? So we just assume that the block should always be surrounded by curly braces, and it should have at least a return statement. I'm trying to think of an exception, right? So if you have like a for loop, or even an if else statement body, right? It could be a chain, so without a return statement, because it's possible for you to have like, if this is equal to this, create this without returning anything, right? And it could also be a block, because you might want to return something from it. So what should a block be? What is a block? If we use Rust semantics, a block is always surrounded by curly braces and always return something. A block has to return something explicitly or implicitly, right? So if we follow the definition or the semantics used in Rust, then a block has to have a curly braces, has to have like a pair of curly braces, and also return something, right? Because a block is actually an expression in Rust. So if we go by that heuristics or whatever, or convention, or whatever you want to call it, another thing we could also do is, in any context, like we could actually do it in both places, right? So right, when let's say we build the block to be surrounded by curly braces, when we're using it at the caller place, let's say assignment to a field, or like using it within the from argument in the select statement, we can first check if it has curly braces, and if it doesn't, we put it. If it does, we don't, right? But that's more like defensive programming, and I would probably want to avoid that. It means we have a little bit of inconsistency in our definition, in clarity of our definitions of what are different semantics, conventions, or standard. So right now, if you see, if we were to enable inlanes, you see queries actually here is a query chain, because the heuristic we're using to determine if it's a block is just if the last statement is a return, then now it's a block. And you see that this doesn't complain anymore. But actually, this should also be considered a block because these returns, right, something. So I'm just contemplating. One way I was thinking about is recursively check if there are return keywords, and if there are return keywords, just aggressively say it's a block. And if we go to the implementation, we go to query turbo. My editor already discarded that. Before that, let's see if we have anything to commit. Okay, so let's check query chain. My editor and my computer are punishing me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy smoke. I'm done for it. I should have committed that. This is a maxed out M1. I think Apple is slowing down my computer because they want me to purchase the M3, and that doesn't make any sense. Let's just take that in. Okay. I don't know why my computer is slowing down. Let's check the activity monitor. Yeah, OBS is doing some, but I still have like I do 62%. The CPU load isn't that crazy. Memory used. Okay. Anyway, let's look at the implementation. It's like a query block, even in return statement. So basically it goes through all the statements within it, and But the thing is, right? So we're not trying to look if any of this is return statement, because if else could have return statement. So this is not just about if one of the top level statement is returned, but it's also about um, if for a loop has return statement and if the if else statement. Let's go to if statement first. Oh, this also is messed up. This is quite frustrating. Um, let's close that. Oh my god. So, I mean, we could check within this if statement, like if the body has a return statement. And the way we're gonna go about that is, so here we're parsing body, query chain parser, and okay, so the first statement is just that. Oh man, this is rough. I actually use VS Code. It's been a minute. You know what? I'm gonna use VS Code. I've not used VS Code in a long time. So let's try to do it. I doubt I can even use VS Code anymore. Yeah. Guys, I'm going back to VS Code days. So if else, oh my god, it's hard to come back here. So we can do as return statement. I can barely use VS Code anymore. Let's download the Vim extension. I actually have it. Is that the 28? Okay, is likely block. It's likely block. So how do we check? If we go to we can do and it as return statement like a delegation. Thank you. So basically we check if the meta body or if you receive meta body, and that's for if statements. So we can do the same thing for for loop. A for loop should be able to have a return statement, and if it does at any point, we can just say it's a block. So let's do the same thing for a loop. So essentially we just gonna as return statement. Yep. This is likely query bug. Then if we go to query train, okay, so basically we want to go here. I want to say or let's say you know what, let's just use that, and we can say if it's also like if else statements, we can say, oh man, I can't wait to go back to Vim, as return statement, and we do the same thing for loop. So we have more heuristic to use to determine if this as a return statement. So let's actually go back there. Let's go back to the tests. Yeah. Now this gives us unknown. It's interesting. Let's cancel that first. Um, so we're streaming for about 1.5 hours. Let's see if we can get this out before I decide to go out. I'm not even sure how to expand this in VS Code. But I believe all we've just done is expanded what it means to be a query block. So yeah, beverages. Yeah, I'm gonna restart this just to be sure. Let's be sure about that. How did I survive with VS Code? This project is quite large already now. It's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. A lot of moving parts. It's a very large project now. looks like the Rust Analyzer is still loading. Okay, beautiful. So now you can see that this actually overlays this to a block, because it's not only expecting improve the heuristic for determine a block. So because there are a series of statements here, it actually evaluates this to a block. And I mean, we can go crazy further. When you have an if-else statement, anytime you have a return statement, you should have in other block also, you should have a return statement. We can definitely do that. So we just need to check that not only one of the if else if else block, not one of the bodies has return. Every one of them should have a return statement. Every or none of them should have a return statement. But yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this. If we do something like removing this, then this should go back to being a query chain. Yeah, but if any of them ever returns, then it's gonna be a block. So the other side of the token is we can decide that if any part of the if else statement returns, then the whole part should actually return. Everything should return. But anyway, I think the idea is if you're returning within a self-complex query, that's not necessarily true actually. You think about it, because let's say you're writing a transaction. Within that transaction, it's possible for you to have an if-else statement nested within another statement that requires you having a return keyword. And you could have a mere like query chain that also has a return keyword within its if else statements. So maybe everything should be a block, because you're just gonna write a set of statements without it as a query chain. That is actually not the typical reason why we're implementing this. We're implementing this mainly for blocks and transaction. If you want, I don't know why you would want to write a bunch of queries and send them to the database without having them as a transaction. I guess there is a use case for that, and we can cater. We can also cater to that. So I'm doing a lot of thinking in this stream. Yeah. I think I might just make everything a block and not surrounded by bracket, but anytime you are using it within an expression context, then it's going to convert it to a block. I think that could be a good trade-off. Anyway, I'm going to run the test again. Probably run it in your Vim, and I'm gonna take a break for today. Let's run the test again. This is the benefit of having snapshot tests. You can easily update them. Yep. Okay. Let's see why that might be the case. Data not matching up. Okay, we can actually remove this. That is happening where none. Did we even create it first? Okay, here we must have inserted them, inserted the weapons. Okay. Yeah, actually, we're trying to. I think I'll probably just take a break here. I need to relax. There's more for me to do, but I need to go out and I need to take a break here. We did the debugging, fix that, now I need to, actually where we're now, I need to do some testing with the database engine itself and try to understand the changes that have been done, the implication of those changes, so we don't just implement things blindly. And after doing those tests, we could have done those in this live stream, but I want to take some time to check that out and see how that would affect our implementation. So that's what I'm going to be doing next. My hope is that we're done with this by tomorrow. I just want to go get some fresh air and try to relax, and I'll continue by then. I will, cause and you could actually, for what we have here, you could do something like basically this. Yes, maybe comment that out. And now return. Let's run that. Yep. Maybe comment those two out for now. Yeah, I will. So basically, let me see. We have a statement. Terrible. And this now returns a block. So it should be quoted. And one thing I need to be sure of is how we're using that. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, there's a lot of from. Let's look at targetables. Should I support blocks separately? Yeah. Cause targetables. Anyways, I will check the rendered query and continue with the debugging later. I love you guys. I just need to take some break. I still haven't recovered fully. These are some of the drugs I've been using. I don't know if I should even show this. This is one of them. I've got some on my table there. I've got more. So I'm still trying to recover. I'm so much better than I was a few days ago, but I still need to do some recovering, and that's why if you notice my streams are a bit shorter than they were like before I got sick. But I'm excited to be doing this. So what would we achieve today? Let's go to this. What did we achieve? We had some issues with how our queries were being bound, and maybe I could show you from my GitHub, but I've made a lot of changes. But anyways, we had some issues with else if body binding. We fixed that. Then also we're improving the heuristic for determining if a query chain is blocked. So checking if any of the if statement has a return keyword, and also checking if a for loop has a return keyword. If any of those is true, or if any of the top level statement is return statement, then we're gonna say that it is indeed a block. It is a block. It is a block. So I've got a lot of things to do, but for now I think I'll just take the break and I'll continue maybe when I'm back or tomorrow, or try to do some stuff off stream. And when I'm fully well, we can do much longer streams like I used to, 6, 7, 8 hours. And I love you guys. Hope you guys are having fun. I will be back again soon. See you. Bye.